In this video I am going to show you how to make a movie folio. Hello, I am Tinne from Victoria Designs, and if you like old movies and retro Hollywood, I have for you the Retro Movies Kit. Spotlights, camera reels, director chairs, it's all there. And I made a tutorial with these printables to create a movie folio. It holds 2 tin journals for your movie reviews, for example, and has many pockets for keepsakes and ephemera like movie tickets, for example. Of course, this doesn't have to become a movie folio. As long as you want to make a project that holds journals and pockets, you're all set. All my measurements and guidelines will pop up on the screen, but if you like a PDF with all the measurements on there, plus guidelines how to adjust them to your printed journal pages, just opt in via the link in the description and it will be sent to you. And there's a bonus, you will also receive printable pockets and a belly band with a film look. If you don't like movies, you can make this project with another kit or papers that you love and the look will be completely different. Just as you can use the printables from this retro movie kit to make an infinite amount of other crafts. So if you would like to make this project or any other project with the printables of the retro movies kit, you can discover it in my Etsy shop. There's a link below for more information. And now let me show you what we're gonna make.
So we're going to make this folio. Well, folio, it's another booky thingy. This is what the spine looks like, and the back. And when I open it, I have here a type of envelope. It's not really an envelope. And it has vellum pockets, you see? Together your movie stubs, etc. See, I put some behind here. And on the back, we have exactly the same. With other printables I made it. Also with the vellum pockets in here. And then in the center, when I open it, we have here 2 flaps. One that opens like this and has a belly band. I put an envelope from the kit here. And the other one opens the other way and has 2 pockets. And I put some of the other ephemera in here. And these pockets and that belly band are for free if you request the measurements for this craft project. And here in the sleeves are 2 small journals. See? Very simple, one signature bound with, well, bound with a staple and a little pull ribbon if you like. And in these journals, you can write down what you think of movies. Think of yourself as a movie critic. Grade them, be firm, etc. So, that's what we're going to make. And of course, if you don't want this to be a movie kit, you can make this into anything that you like. You can just use another kit. It holds 2 journals and has lots of pockets. So I think this is usable for a lot of projects. Okay, and now let me show you first some of the printables and then exactly how to make it. I'm first going to show you a few of the journal pages, just a few. Of course, I printed many more for this tutorial. So let's quintessentially retro movie. And then a few papers, some are horizontal, some are vertical. This is actually like the carpet in a cinema. These are just a few, of course. I'm not showing you everything from the kit. And then a few of the sheets with the embellishments. Okay, let's start with making the 2 sleeves that will hold both small journals. I have here pieces of cardstock and it is 220 grams cardstock. You choose the color. I chose black because I thought it would match the kit quite well, but you can use craft colored cardstock or red. It all depends on your preference. So I have here 2 pieces that are a bit larger and 2 that are a bit smaller. All the measurements and adjustments will pop up on the screen and where you should score, etc. So 2 sleeves, I'm going to show you how to make one, and the other one I'm going to make later off camera. Now, before you start cutting any cardstock pieces, first print your journal pages. and then measure. Mine are 10 inches wide and 7 3/4 inch high. Fold it in half. And this is going to be the base for all your measurements. Now the easiest thing is that you try to print them the same size as I have. It depends on so many things. Do you have a borderless setting? Are you not using the borderless setting? Are you printing on A4? Are you printing on letter? Are you choosing fit to page? Are you using another percentage? This can all influence how large these are coming out of your printer. So if you also have journal pages that are 7 3/4 inch high and 10 wide when unfold, you can just use my measurements. If yours are significant different in size, I would use the adjustments that come on the screen or on your PDF. And this is the base for all your adjustments because these need to fit. I printed mine choosing the fit to page setting because I use A4 paper. I have the possibility to set the measurements in my print options screen, and these were the sizes that I chose. Maybe you also have that. If you don't, you can try to play with the print percentages and with all the other settings to get to this size too. Okay, so the biggest part, I'm gonna need 3 tabs, so 2 here and 1 here, and simple, I'm going to make 1/2 inch tabs like this. I'm gonna put this away because the other one doesn't need scoring. Okay, and then I'm going to fold these tabs. And I'm going to miter the corners. So I'm just gonna start where the fold is and just cut in a little bit. In the corners here as well, like this, and then change the angle and go like that. So I just made a tab here as well, and then here I'm going to cut this piece off as well. And now I'm going to turn over and put double-sided tape on all these 3 tabs. You can use glue as well. I'm using 3/8 inch tape. As long as it's not wider than the tabs, it's okay. My tape is obviously not as wide as a tab, so put the tape as close to the fold as possible. If there's a bit left, that's okay. Why don't I make my tabs as wide as my tape? Well, if I would make these tabs 3/8 inch like my tape is, then there's a big chance my tape is going to be a bit wider on some pieces, and that's just a mess. So that's why I like to make my tabs a bit wider than my tape is. Okay, I am going to remove these backings. And I'm gonna lay it like this. And this piece, by the way, is the same size as this piece without the tabs. I am going to line this one up on that tab. The sticky side is up. And I'm going to glue it down right next to that fold, like this. If you're using wet glue, just put glue on the tab right before we're going to stick it. I wouldn't put any glue on here as of yet. And now turn around and carefully close each side. I do them one by one like this. And now I have a beautiful sleeve that will fit my journal perfectly. And I'm gonna make the second one exactly the same. I have my 2 sleeves ready here, and I'm going to connect them with this sleeve attachment. Well, it's going to become a sleeve attachment. This piece has the same height as these sleeves, and it's 1 1/4 inch wide. Most of these pieces, the 2 sides, will be tabs to attach these, and in the center we will have left a 1/4 inch 6mm spine. So I'm going to, oopsie, that was not right, but that's okay, it's gonna be hidden. I'm going to score 1/2 inch on each side. Yeah, see? That was a boo-boo there, but it's okay, it's going to be completely hidden, you won't see it. There, folding again, I'm going to cut these corners a little bit diagonally, like this. And I'm going to put again tape on both tabs. If you're using wet glue, do one by one. Right before you stick it on. Again, glue this right next to the folds, not on the end, so you don't have any air gaps later. Going to remove the backings. You can remove the backings one by one if you're very sure you're not going to stick yourself to this. Okay, so I have this here. I'm going to use this tab and I'm going to use one of the sleeves and I'm going to stick where the fold is, right next to that fold on the attachment. Line it up, top and bottom, like this. And on the other side, exactly the same. Make sure to take time to line things up. I've done this a million times, give or take, but you take all the time you need. There, and now these are attached and we have like this little gap in between. And now I have two more pieces that I'm going to attach to this. And these are the pieces that will be attached to the actual chipboard covers. Again, I'm going to score 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch. Again, fold these and cut the corners. Make sure not to cut in this 1/4 inch piece here, just the tab. Same with this one. Put tape on the tabs, again next to the fold or your glue. Okay, and then take this one off and then take this centerpiece here and fold like this so you can see the 1/4 inch like spine thingy. And that edge you're going to glue right next to that first fold from the tab. That way you will have two 1/4 inch spine pieces right next to each other. Like this. There, you see, like this. And then again, this one, same, but attach it on the other side. So here I have the one that I just added. Here are my two sleeves. I'm going to flatten this piece. And this side, showing the two 1/4 inch spines, this fold I'm going to glue right next to that fold here. There. So these are the side pieces I just attached and these are the two sleeves, you see? And on the back you now have these three 1/4 inch spiny thingies. There. So this piece will be attached to a chipboard cover. Here will come a full envelope-y thingy. And in the center will come two flap thingies that will hide some pockets. And those flaps we're going to attach first. Let me put this aside for a bit. I have 2 flaps and one will open this way and one will open the other way. And I'm going to score to have a tab. Now normally this piece should be 8 3/16 of an inch, but that would make me lose a lot of this great cardstock. And I thought it's only not even an 1/8 of an inch shorter. So I'm going to make my tab a little bit smaller. If that's the case for you as well, just make the tab a little bit smaller, that's okay. The other part needs to match, of course. Now, normally I would make a tab, 1/2 inch tab here, but now since my tab is going to be a bit smaller, I'm going to measure the part on the other side. So that should be 7 7/8 of an inch, like this. See, and now my tab is like a little bit smaller, but at least this part is okay. And I didn't need to throw away all that paper. Same with this one here, 7 7/8. So you can adjust these things. If your paper is like slightly too short for 1/2 inch tabs, just make the tabs a little bit smaller, of course. Don't waste paper, especially if it's good. Again, I'm going to miter these corners. And put tape on the tabs right next to the fold. Yeah, now my tape should like just fit, because the tab is slightly bigger. But if it's smaller, you can always use narrower tape, of course. Okay. Good. Now these should be attached in the center of this piece below. So if I place this right here, it will have an 1/8 of an inch, 3 millimeter all around. And with one, I'm going to add the tab on the top. And with the other one, just to break it up a little bit, I'm going to add the tab on the bottom. Okay, I'm going to remove that backing. I'm going to fold over this tab, and I'm going to be very sure that everything is straight and nicely in the center. Yes, measure if you want. I am just going to eyeball it, but make sure if you're using tape that you're very sure, because down is down. If you're not sure, put a little bit of glue on the tape on top. Then you can wiggle around a bit more. Okay, there. So you see, there's an 1/8 of an inch, 3 millimeter, all around on that base. And now the second one, I'm going to remove that backing. Fold it over, and to make it easy, I'm going to just turn around this. That's easier for me. And making very sure that this is again nicely centered with an even 1/8 of an inch border all around. Yeah, and straight, that your flaps are not going to be like this. Okay, turn around again, and now I have this. Okay, and to close these, I am going to use neodymium magnets. And you can use 2 pairs of magnets, but to save on these magnets, I just use, for the other side, washers from the hardware store to make them stick on. If you're using a lot of paper layers in between, I would also put a magnet on the other side. But for this is enough. My washers are about the same size, but it's okay if these are a little bit larger, of course. And since many people ask, the size of my magnets is 3/8 of an inch in diameter. That's about 9 millimeter, and it's a 1/16 of an inch high. That's about 1.5 millimeter. Where am I going to position them? It's going to be different for this side and that side. So put these aside for a bit. For this side, I'm going to put pockets underneath. So if I put it here, it's going to be a bit in the way. I'm going to put it a bit more to the side. That's okay. And I am going to hide this under some printed paper, a design from the kit. And if I put it too much to the side, the paper is going to have a hard time hiding this magnet. So I'm going to put it a little bit more in the center I'm gonna keep an half an inch, about 1.3 millimeter from the top and the bottom here. It doesn't have to be super exact. Okay, so I put some double-sided tape on one side. I'm also going to put already the washer on top. Also gonna give that one, the washer, some tape on top. Yeah. Okay, and now this is usually not that easy, I find, is to get off the backings from both. Yeah, got the one from the washer and then the one from the magnet. Okay. Okay, and now I'm going to stick that magnet on the flap on the inside, about half an inch from the top and about half an inch from the side. There, that's good enough. I'm making sure the washer is into place. Yeah, sometimes I stamp it with some ink to have the right place, but actually I think this is gonna work as well. Okay, and now carefully close it and press. And hopefully, there. And then I'm going to put some more double-sided tape on top, but not remove the backing yet, because otherwise if you close this over and over again, they might come loose. And then you have to start over again. So you can also always put some pen, a marker, I mean, with lots of ink on top and just stamp where this one needs to come. Okay, but let's keep this into place for the moment, like this. Normally, yeah, they still stick. Okay, now the other magnets I am going to put on top. So here on top, below there is going to come a belly band, and I have a piece on top for the magnet so that the belly band won't be disturbed. Now that belly band is on your free sheet here. And for me, when I printed it out at 100%, the size is 7 inches. And I'm going to have it come all the way to the bottom. So I have a lot of room left here above that. I'm going to, they work, turn around for a bit. And I want my magnets in the center this time. And about half an inch from the top. And for that, I mean, I'm going to position the top of my magnet half an inch from that mark. And I'm going to already give it a piece of double-sided tape. You can also use glue, some strong wet glue, for sure. Like tacky glue definitely works. I'm going to remove the backing. Yes, I'm gonna do this set separately and not stick them together and then start fiddling, etc. So it has some tape, and now I'm going to position the top half an inch from that mark. The top against the mark I just made. Okay, I'm also going to add a piece of tape to this washer piece or to your second magnet if you're only using magnets. There, remove the backing. I am already going to put a piece of tape over this one without removing the backing, so this will come off better. It doesn't keep sticking and pull each other loose, you know what I mean, like this. And then just make sure it's all straight. Stamp, and this one is into place as well, and I'm going to put some double-sided tape on top here and not remove the backing yet. I'm only going to remove the backing when I'm actually going to put in place what's going to come on top of them. Okay, so the closures are in place. I'm gonna leave them open. This one is now back to normal. So in here, this one on the right side has a magnet in the corners and the left side a magnet in the center. And now I'm going to attach panels in here. And these panels I'm going to choose from the papers from the kit. And I usually make them 1/4 inch less high and wide than the base they should come upon. The base means I'm not looking at this flap, just the side of that sleeve here. And if I indeed make my panels a 1/4 inch less high and wide than the side of this sleeve, you can also measure the other side of the sleeve if that's easier for you with all these flappy thingies going on. If I make them a 1/4 inch less high and wide, it's going to come right against that fold here from that flap, because this is already a little bit lower. Now for choosing the beautiful printable papers or other papers that you're going to put here, keep in mind that these two pockets will become on top here, and this belly band will come on top here, that it fits the whole thing here. Or you cut these from other paper, of course. And since these come next to each other, I'm going to use this pattern. And we're going to make 2 pieces that will fit right into here. So I cut these pieces. Let me put this aside for a bit. And I'm also going to, this is optional, ink the edges a little bit black because of the black paper, so it flows a little bit better. Now, since these edges need to stick really, really well, especially around these magnets, I'm going to add a border of double-sided tape right against the edge and glue in the center. You can use just glue if it's strong enough, whatever you need. I just want to make sure it sticks around these bulky magnets. Well, bulky, they're not super thick, but they bulk up a little bit. That's normal. So again, you don't have to do this. Removing the backings. I'm also already going to remove this backing. You can use a glue stick in the center, a good one, but to make it a bit more durable, I'm going to use wet glue here. I have to be fast. I'm going to spread it out a bit. Add some glue on the tabs as well, on the tape if you like. Sure, it's not upside down, it's like this. And I'm positioning this right next to that fold from the flap. And then down, like this. There. Gonna do the same on this side. Oh yeah, first I have to add the tape on the edges. This is just me making sure the edges are super well glued. It all depends on your craft style. If you're more like, we'll see if it sticks, go ahead. I applaud you. I should be a bit more like that. Now I'm going to see that this edge is nicely next to that fold. Oopsie, is it straight enough? Okie dokie, like this. So, and these washers are now neatly hidden. Now, another good thing about the washers, they're usually thinner, a lot thinner than the actual magnets. So, okay. Now I'm going to cut out these 2 pockets and the belly band. I'm going to ink the edges. I'm only inking the edges of the long sides, not the short ones. They will disappear. Okay, now let's start with these 2 first. Now these 2 have a black piece on the sides, and that is with a purpose, because I just wanted to make sure that if your measurements are a little bit wider, that you wouldn't run out of pocket, that it was wide enough for sure, and it is wide enough for sure. I'm just going to make a mark where I'm going to cut them. So I'm positioning them here in the center. I wanted them to be for sure as wide as the panel underneath. Okay, I'm gonna cut them this size, I mean. So yeah, you can cut off the edges to your size. And now, very simple, I'm gonna turn them around and put thinner double-sided tape on the bottom and all the sides. And the thinner tape is 1/4 inch, 6 mm wide, so that there's more pocket left. You can also put a piece of tape in the center, but then they start to become really, really narrow, like really small. So I'm not going to do that. Of course, I am now adding pockets and a belly band. You put whatever you want in here. Do you want something else? Go for it. Do you want to add more flaps? Go for it. As long as it fits in here, why not? The same with the envelope-y thingies later that I'm going to attach. If you want to attach something else instead, go ahead. With this base, you can go wild. And I applaud that. Go wild, crafters. Forgot this one here. Okay, and let me see first before I stick them down where I want them. So this one I want really at the bottom and this one right here. Yeah, in the center. That's what I'm gonna do. Gonna remove the backing. Okay, so I'm gonna position this right. The edge, should you see some double-sided tape sticking out, just fold it backwards. I'm lining that up really at the bottom of that panel. There. Now I have a pocket here. Same with this one. I'm gonna position this, measure if you like, about here. Make it straight. I'm literally talking to myself. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I see. I cut it a little bit short here again, but hey, to the rescue. That's the good thing with black. You can hide so much. And I'm gonna do exactly that. Not only with ink, but also with pen. There. Now, on the other side, the belly bands. And for that, I am first going to score these two lines. So, one here, one here. That's it. I'm gonna fold them over. And this one is going to be positioned in the center, right here, right under that washer, so it won't be in the way when you're trying to put something in here. Okay, going to, yeah. Actually, yeah, I haven't done that. I can't lose this anymore with the tape. You can, if you want, and if you've seen this video ahead of crafting, which I always recommend, watch first, then craft, is attach this one, this end, before you're adding the panel here. So then this piece would have been hidden. I didn't do that, but okay. I'm gonna put some double-sided tape on these two tabs, again right next to the fold. Remove this backing. If you want to use this as a band to attach a booklet on, you could put it more to the side, but I'm going to put an envelope underneath. So I want it in the center. Where is the center? The center is here for me. Yep, and I'm going to position this right next to that flap fold. There. And to make sure nothing gets caught in here, you can add a bit of clear tape here, because now you can still reach it. Oh yeah, of course. But don't make it wider than this. Okay, there. Okay, and now this one, I'm going to remove the backing again. Can I attach some tape at the same time? Let's see if I can. Let's see. Ooh. So I'm going to attach this piece of tape on the other side here, half. And I'm going to, yeah, it's gonna work. Definitely gonna work. Carefully position it right into place like this. Okay, happy with that. Make sure it's not, it doesn't have any fold or is crooked or anything there. And now I'm going to attach some panels on these, the inside of these two flaps and also on the outside of these two flaps, and the sizes are exactly the same for all four. So I cut 4 panels for the flaps, and I'm going to glue these two on the outside of the flaps. These are actually cut from 2 horizontal papers. So this one I am going to glue here, or the other way around, I'm not sure yet. Yeah, probably like this. And the other 2 I am going to glue on the inside of these flaps. This one right here. So let me start with the inside. Again, we're dealing with thick magnets. This is even thicker than the washer before. So I'm going to add some tape on the sides. Gonna remove this piece. I'm going to push that backing in. Then remove these backings. Add some glue. And I'm going to glue this one in the center. You know what? I'm going to turn this around so I can really position it very well around this magnet. So I again will have a 1/8 of an inch border. This nicely around magnets. Okay, and it will still work very well even though you don't see them. Again, if you're using more layers of paper in between, I would use a magnet here as well, because otherwise it would not stick as well anymore, I presume. But for this it's fine. And then I'm going to attach the other one the same way. So, because I put the magnet wide enough from the edges, I now have more than enough paper to completely make it invisible. Okay, this is also working. And now I am going to glue these here on the outside of the flaps. No magnets, so I'm just going to use glue. There. So these flaps are ready. Here's a belly band. I'm probably going to put an envelope in between, and here we have 2 pockets. There. So the center has been taken care of, and now I am going to add an envelope-ish thing here and here as well. Okay. And for each envelope I have a quite large piece of cardstock, the same cardstock. For my measurements I need 11 by 7 and 7/8, and I'm going to score it 2 and 3/8 on one side and 3.5 on the other side. I'm going to show you with one envelope, the other one I'm gonna do later off camera because it's the same. Okay, and I'm simply going to fold these in. Haven't used my bone folder yet. That's special. Okay, and now this envelope will fit perfectly here in the front with an 1/8 of an inch border all around again. I am not going to put a panel on top, you won't see it anyway. I wanted the envelopes to be as large as possible, so it's going to be this size. Okay, that can go away. Now, instead of keeping it like this, you can round the corners or use a fancy corner punch, but I'm going to cut off the corners in this way. I'm going to measure 3/4 inch away from the corner. It's about 2 centimeters. 2 centimeters is fine. Here as well. And on the other side as well. Here as well. And then I am going to connect these marks. And I'm going to cut them off. Just like that, very simple. But it will give this envelope in a very simple way something different. I'm gonna do that with the 2 other corners as well here. Make sure you use pencil that you can erase very easily, because otherwise you will keep seeing it. There. So that was very easy. It's going to come like this. And I think I'm gonna let it open this way. You can grab everything very easy. If I have my flap here, the shortest piece, because if I turn it around, the cover will be here. It might be a little bit harder to reach in there. I am nitpicking here, so you choose for yourself, but I'm going to put my envelope in this way. Why am I saying that? Because I'm going to add my first panels on the envelope, one here and one here. And you can choose to put your design this way, but you can also choose to put your design that way. That's your choice, doesn't matter, nothing's better than the other. And again, make the panel 1/4 inch or 6 millimeter less high and wide than this, and I will show you what to do with the corners as well. And I think for the outside panels I'm going to use this paper. So I have my panels right here, and of course, since I cut these corners, I have to cut the same corners here, and actually it's very easy. Just measure the same measurements, so 3/4 inch. From the corners. Connect. Cut. Ink the edges if you're doing that. and then simply glue them on top. I'm using glue stick here, just use a glue that you like. This. Same with this one. Cut the right corners. Of course, check if you're cutting on the right side, of course. Now I'm gonna work on the closure. I'm just going to use a simple circle closure. If you would like to use a magnet instead, you can do that, but then you should put your washer under here and your magnet here. And also you only have a little bit of overlap here, so I'm not sure if that's the best idea. But I'm going to show you how to make a circle closure. I took a leftover piece from this cardstock and I cut with a 5/8 of an inch circle punch 4 circles, and 2 by 2 I glued them on top of each other to make them really, really sturdy. And I'm actually going to keep them black, but you can punch another circle from one of the papers if you like and glue that on top as well. You can also make them bigger, whatever you want. And I'm going to punch a hole in the center. Of course, I want my circle in the center. And the center for me here is right here. But for this distance, I usually, what I find a great distance is about 3/8 of an inch from, it's a bit higher, from this edge of the cardstock. And now to put the hole right here, I want again 3/8 of an inch from that same edge here of this cardstock, so close your envelope. Also 3/4 of an inch from there. So 3/4 of an inch from this cardstock edge above and below. So don't measure this from this edge when it's opened, only from this edge when it's closed. I'm also going to punch those holes. If you're using a larger circle punch, I would put them a little bit higher so they don't come too close to the edge. Well, that's a preference, but keep that in mind. Okay, and I have here 2 small little gold colored brads. You can choose the color that you like yourself, of course. I'm going to attach them the same way like I always do. So if you've seen me do this like 5 million times already, just skip ahead a little bit. So I put this brad through the hole in the circle. Then I have this chipboard thingy. It's about 1/16 of an inch wide. And I'm going to slide these legs in there. And then I'm gonna put them through the cardstock. And when I open my legs now, I have a little gap because of the cardstock in between for my thread later. Little piece of double-sided tape on top. So when I take this out, I have the width of this as a gap here in between for my thread. I'm gonna attach the other one the same way. So through here, into the slots, into the hole. Open these legs. A little bit of tape. get this one out. Perfect. I think I'm gonna use this blue thread here. Yeah. So I'm going to tie this piece of thread around the circle of the flap. 2 or 3 knots. Cut off the excess. Gonna tuck that end in. And then I usually do 1, 2, 3 and cut the rest off. Use the color that you like best. Yeah, it's not the best color, but I'm gonna accept it for me. Black could have been a good one. Now I'm gonna open it up again. And I'm going to add these 2 panels and one here. Now these 2 have the exact same size as this one. So the middle paper I already put in here. I actually used the rest of the paper that I used for the outside panels. And before I put these in, of course, first I'm going to remove that backing. Yeah, be careful with these. Okay. So like this. And now for in here, I am going to add some pockets, some long pockets here on the side. And for that, I am going to use vellum or tracing paper. And I'm going to place them like this, so you can put tickets, etc. in between here. And I'm actually going to use 2. Now this one, I already put tape, thin double-sided tape on the edges. This is 1/4 inch 6mm white tape, and I'm going to attach it here as well. You won't see the tape, just make sure the tape you use has a clear adhesive and not an orange one or something. Be a bit more careful with tracing paper or vellum. So this is my flap, so we're gonna make sure this is the way I'm going to put them in. And I'm going to line this up completely with the bottom of that paper panel, like this. And the second one, I'm gonna put a little bit higher. You can choose for yourself. About, yeah, I still want a bit of room to put something in there. So yeah, I'm gonna leave about 1 inch in between. Like this. There. And now I have 2 pockets, 2 see-through pockets. Okay. Let's close this. I also already made a second one from the other side of the project. Like this. And you can glue them in right now if you like, but I'm gonna wait a little bit. I'm gonna first make and attach the covers. So I'm going to put these aside. This also. And I have here 2 pieces of chipboard. If you don't have chipboard, use some cereal box type packaging and glue a few layers on top of each other. Let dry, cut the size, and you have a sturdy cover like this. You're gonna wrap them anyway. And to wrap these covers, I am going to use these papers. So I think I'm gonna use this for the front cover and this one for the back, or the other way around. I want, of course, this whole thing on the paper. So I'm going to mark a little bit which parts I need to cut off, or which I don't. So I'm gonna slide this up. Yeah, I think up to here. So I'm going to cut about 1/2 inch extra here Here as well, I think we're gonna cut off to here. And here, about here, and about here. So I'm gonna cut this to size. There. I'm gonna do that for the back cover as well. Well, I'm gonna make them first and then decide which one is going to be the front cover and which one is going to be the back cover. So obviously I want this title in the center. Yeah, a little bit of this is going to show as well, but that's okay. So nothing from the bottom. Okay, I cut these to size. I'm gonna show you how to make it with this one. Put this one aside. Okay, just put some double-sided tape or very strong glue around the border, right up against the edge of your chipboard. If you're using glue, you can already glue the whole thing at once. I'm going to use, again, tape on the edge, glue in the center. Remove this. And then glue in the center. Yeah, I'm not sure if I was clear enough in the beginning. Just make sure where you want these pieces and then add at least ½ an inch, about, yeah, 1.5 centimeter extra on the border to fold over. And you can completely choose which design you want, or use other paper, scrapbook paper, or just some plain cardstock if you want. I should have used some tacky glue for this. It takes a long time to get my glue out. Okay. And then nicely in the center and straight up, glue down. And then fold, pre-fold all 4 sides. Check. Yes, I'm happy with that. And then cut the corners again, so you're making 4 tabs again. Like this, and stay about at least 1 millimeter, 1/16 of an inch from that corner, or actually the thickness of your chipboard, stay that away from the corner so you can wrap that corner as well, so it won't be bare. And do that on all 4 sides. And then I'm going to use my tape again and put tape right against the chipboard on all 4 sides, or glue. If you're using glue, you can put glue all over the tab. If you're using tape, it's the most important that you are as close to the chipboard as possible, so you don't get any air gaps again. Here. Yes. And then I'm going to glue down first the side parts and then the top and bottom part. You can choose which one you're starting, just do the opposites first. So I'm gonna really pull that paper, keep it tight and fold over. Then the other side as well, hold it tight, fold over. So I'm literally using my abs here. Okay, and then in the corners, push them down first. So that will wrap nicely in there. Remove the backings of the other two sides. Pull and stick. Pull and stick. There, and that, my friends, is how you wrap a cover. There. And then later on, we can glue this part here. And now I'm quickly going to wrap the other cover the exact same way. And I'm also going to ink the edges a little bit. That's optional, that's your choice. Okay, there we go. Now, do I want this one in the front and this in the back? I think I'm gonna do the premiere tonight in the front, because it really shows what this booklet is all about. Now, to attach this to that, I'm going to put some double-sided tape along the edges, glue in the center, and then glue this on. Or you can put glue all over. I'm gonna check if it's still the right way up. I wouldn't be the first person to glue their covers upside down. I presume it already happened, so I just blocked that out. But otherwise, all your hard work was like for nothing. You just don't want that. Check again and again and again and again and again. I'm gonna put some glue in that little corner there as well, or a little piece of tape there. Already put this like this. Again, right side up, yes. Check 5 million times, please. Put some extra glue here on top as well. And now very carefully, I'm going to make sure I have 1/8 of an inch all around. Ooh, not straight, not straight. That's why I had some extra glue on top of the tape. Okay. 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 And I'm gonna do exactly the same with the back cover here. Okay, and now I am going to attach my envelopes. Same thing on the back, I am just going to put tape all around the edges, glue in the center, put them in, and I chose, but you don't have to, as I said, to put my flap that way, so it opens that way. And again, you can just use glue. Check again, and then you normally have room for 1/8 of an inch all around again. Like this. There. There, there, there. And now the other one goes on the back. I want that one like this. There we go. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Look, nicely filled. Looks like this for now. Now, you can leave this as it is, but if you want like a very busy project, then you can add another panel on top here. Again, 1/4 of an inch less high and wide than that black piece. And I am going to glue this one in here and this one on the back. It's just what you choose. There. So our booklet is almost ready. Our envelope with vellum. We have here our pockets in between and the belly band. We have another envelope here with vellum pockets. And then of course, we have here our slots for our little journals. So I have here a bunch of journal pages, but I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to use them all because I printed them on 160 grams paper, which is fairly thick. And I have here 10 pages of the journal pages. I'm going to fold this stack in half. Yeah, that's going to be too thick, I'm afraid. This is just 10 pages. And this is going to be way too thick to put in these slots. Yeah, I advise to print them on lighter paper. Then you can have more pages and not make it too thick. I always make this mistake, so don't copy me. 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's try 6. Let's see what that does. It's a bit of a shame. Yes, I think that will fit nicely in there. Yeah, I think that's okay. I'm gonna take 6 more from this stack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, you're so beautiful. Well, there. So it's very easy. If you don't want too many pages, print on thicker paper. If you want many, many pages, print on thinner paper. Just seeing if everything will fit, if I have that many pages in here. Yes, that will work nicely. It's just, but that'll work. Okay, I'm gonna get these out. It's fairly thick, but it'll go. Okay. So I am going to put a staple in the back here in the center, and I'm gonna add a little ribbon so I have a pull to pull these out. And I was fortunate to find some colored staples in my local stationery store. Let's get 2 off. You can use just regular staples. First, I'm going to find the center. I think my staples are 1/2 inch wide. They are amazing. Okay, and so I want them. Yes, you can add 3 staples, 2 staples, whatever you want. I'm just going to add 1. So I need 1 hole here and 1 hole there. That will be in the center. And I have here some ribbon that will nicely fit under this staple. Going to cut a piece about 4 inches, and I can still cut some off. I'm gonna see how it looks. There. Okay. I'm gonna put this, let me put it on this, that's easier. So I'm gonna lay this ribbon good side down, if it has a good side. And then put in a staple. And close the staple legs. There. And 1, 2, 3, you have a booklet. And I think I'm just going to, I'm not going to glue them on top of each other. You can do that. I'm just going to glue the first part here. I once tried to glue some ribbon with art glitter glue and it did not stick. So I'm going to use a little dab of tacky glue here. Just right after the staple. And I'm going to glue them like this and let dry. Not gonna touch that for a while. I'm going to do exactly the same with the second booklet. So, it's ready, it's completely ready. I put some of the tickets from the kit in here to show you that you can put some tickets in these vellum pockets. I also put one of the envelopes from the kit behind his belly band and some of the ephemera in these pockets. And there you have it. I hope you liked watching this tutorial. If you loved the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have some friends that might like to watch this tutorial as well, please give them this video link. The links to this kit with these printables that I used are in the description. You can find them below. And I wish you a very, very wonderful crafty day. Bye-bye.